Hey, if you love the podcast, you know what you're going to love? Hack City, our live stand-up comedy show. We've got great comedians. It's a great time. Plus, your boys, Fumi and Mike, are always there. We're hanging out. Come hang out at the next one. It's Friday, April 8th, 7:30 p.m. at Union Hall in Brooklyn. Tickets available at asiannotasianpod.com or in the episode description. Please check us out. Buy tickets now because we always sell out. See you there. I don't think I ever mentioned it before. Before this previous episode, I'm having a child.
Yes, which we'll talk about later.
Don't worry, I'm not just drop that on you and then just keep talking about the podcast, you know? Rolling, baby.
Part two. We're back.
We're back with the breakup super episode.
I call it the graduation episode, bro.
Oh yeah, that's what Japanese people call it,
bro.
What's the word in Japanese?
So, the word to say graduation is sotsugyou, but the reason why we use that is like in Japan, if you work at a 7-Eleven or whatever, any job, and you leave, people, instead of saying he's quitting, people say you're graduating.
Yeah,
it's very poetic and nice. So I prefer to say graduation. You know.
That is nice. Yeah, dude, we're graduating, you're graduating, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a cool thing. Also, if you were listening to the podcast, Fumi was saying how he was annoyed because we didn't I didn't tell him that I didn't want to do the financial podcast. You got to listen to the last episode to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, I just got to say.
You know, by the way, I noted at the communication part because I think ultimately it's a good thing we're not doing it.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
No, yeah.
I think it was just the communication part. That's all.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just want to say, my bad, dude.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Look at this growth.
Growth.
You know,
2 straight guys apologizing. This is crazy.
You little bitch. Yeah, it is, and it. You know, it's just, fuck, dude. The more honest. The more honest we are, the more honest I am with you, the better the relationship goes. Yeah. I think before when there was like a lot of assumptions happening or like I think you mean this or whatever, that like gets into this whole weird thing. But if as soon as you say, hey man, that was annoying or the fuck, then the other person, it goes both ways. Yeah. Is like, goes, hey, my bad. You're right, dude. So this is the second of 3, maybe 4 episodes where we're talking about fucking graduating. Fumi is moving on.
I'm moving on.
The podcast is sticking around, but it's gonna have to change, and I think that's what the theme, I guess, of this one is going to be about.
The theme of this one is beginning of Asian Not Asian season 2. Mike is continuing the legacy. Yeah, it's keeping on going. I just wanted to introduce the concept of season 2. Like, what's it about? What are you doing? What do you know about it so far?
It's because
you've done a couple episodes already, so just tell us. Yeah, just like if you had to pitch if you had to explain to our fans what's going on with season 2.
You know, this is one of those things. You know, when a CEO like takes over another company and is like, hey, you know what? Nothing's going to change. Everything's going to be the same. Yeah. And then he fires everybody. Yeah. And like brutally fires every retiree. Yeah. You get out of here, Mr. Robinson, with your 86-year-old self. Yeah. And your pension. It's canceled. I feel it's going to be like that. No, it's you know, it's in flux. I was talking about this before on the podcast that there was a time very recently that if you left, this would just implode. I just wouldn't do it. And I'm not sure why. It's not even necessarily. Partially, it's because of like I'm stupid and I can't do this.
Technical stuff.
But
I'm always into technical shit. I understand. Yeah, it could be a little. You know, I like that. I've always been doing that.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But really, it was just like where would this podcast go? Who would listen to me? And do I have like the wherewithal like emotionally to do it? Because again, this is a fuck ton of work. I was talking to Erica Sparrow. She has a podcast called Shooters Gotta Shoot.
Yep.
It's a funny podcast, and she has like a regular person who helps her, who's like the co-host.
And I think they used to be basketball teammates.
Right. Yes, exactly. So, Erica is a comedian. The other person, I'm not sure what they do. I think they're in PR or something. But I was just thinking, like, I would never subject a regular person to this. This is absolutely crazy.
You know what's so funny? When we were talking about the personal finance thing, I was like, I think we need an expert. But I was like, what accountant would
put yourself through this?
Ever do this? And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work out.
No. I could see
I can see a former accountant who's now a comedian doing it.
I can see that,
but I can't see like you can't just roll up to KPMG and be like, yo, can I get Ivy Lay? It's like,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think even of like our own accountant, like having Scott help us out. He would be like, I am so busy, I would you'd not do it.
He's a real estate lawyer.
Is he?
Yeah.
That guy is.
He just does this like on the side
for fun
because his dad is like an accountant.
Oh shit!
And so you don't have to be a CPA to do like regular
right.
Tax
you don't
shit.
have to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What the
I just
fuck?
found out. Yeah, yeah.
This is his.
And he's running for office. Or he used to run for office. I don't know what if he got it. It's for like comptroller or something.
His side business is so much more productive than our main business. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So anyway, what was I going back for? I was going back to just how much work this is.
Yeah.
I would never subject a normal person to this. But then again, I would never subject a normal person to an open mic.
Yeah.
But like something like this is just like such a daunting task.
Well, because also you need them to commit. Right?
Exactly.
And a regular person may be like, I have rehearsal tonight for my kid's piano thing.
Yeah.
You can't have shit like that.
No.
You know? Yeah.
And not just like with the recording, but just like, dude, you and I, we like text constantly.
Yeah.
And we, with our other producers and the other people like who we work with, there's like tons of email strings. We have fucking Dropboxes and
it's so complicated.
It's a fucking just super fucking complicated.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if we must be maybe we're doing this inefficiently. You know what I'm saying? There's like a really efficient way to do this.
Like if we had if we could just take a pause, we'd probably like migrate to like one platform. Though we have multiple.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's this whole thing. All I can say is I hope that season 2 is, because like season 1 was like 250 episodes, and season 2 I hope is not just 2 episodes or something like that, and then ends.
Yeah.
But I do want to keep it going. Overall, right now, this is just for my own sanity because I mentioned it before. I don't think I ever mentioned it before. Before this previous episode, I'm having a child.
Yes, which we'll talk about later.
Don't worry, I'm not just drop that on you and then just keep talking about the podcast. You know, I'm going to talk about that later on.
Schedule wise, it's going to be a big
schedule
thing
wise, but we said we kind of ended the last episode with change is good.
Yeah.
And I've learned, if anything, from this pandemic is like you just got to embrace change.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna fucking keep happening. If you're not changing, it's because you died.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter anymore. Right?
Congrats.
Yeah,
you made it.
Your entropy is maximum or whatever, that little triangle. Anyway, so if you're alive, you got to keep changing, and that's generally a good thing. Because my life is changing, I have to make sure the podcast changes in such a way that just like operationally I can keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then, we had talked before about there can be a lot of really bad Asian content, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there can be really good Asian content. You just got to get through the forest to get to it.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in trying to get to that forest. So I think, the podcast name will still be called Asian Not Asian.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change that. I'm going to have another host, so that again, because I have to subject someone to just like so much work. I'm trying to minimize the amount of work this other person has to do.
Well, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
I think you should. I mean, if this person is committed, then I think that person should be like me, like just
like a new person.
Well, because it's hard to do this on your own.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want you to replace me, where it's like now you're the whale.
What? Right. You have to do
this
all
person's the barnacle.
other barnacle.
Because you're gonna secretly resent that person, and that's not good, right? Like, just be honest. And I think, it depends on how you want to use this person, right? If it's just like, if this other host is gonna be like, just some sidekick,
and
it's like, if you want to rebrand it and claim it as your own, it's just gonna be your face, whatever. Then do that. But if you want to like. That's the thing I wanted to ask you too. Like, are you gonna like rebrand it? Like, you gonna like put a new photo up, or like?
It's got to be a new photo just because you're not on it anymore.
Yeah.
But because I haven't found this new person,
I thought you already.
Well, I have another person. So
you're being a little promiscuous.
Well,
is this the Asian season 2 auditions? Welcome back to Podcast is Blind.
Yo, I started watching. Can I just real quick aside
Love
on
is
this?
Blind, bro. Everybody's talking about it. There's an Asian chick on there, right?
There's an Asian woman, and there's a South Asian woman, and there's a very problematic South Asian guy. His name is Sheikh.
Sheikh?
His like nickname is Sheikh.
Okay.
And he's very, he says a lot of like weird things
about women.
Yeah, he's like constantly trying to figure out if the person on the other side of the glass wall is like is bigger than him. He's constantly asking questions like
about their weight
indirectly. Yeah. Like he's like, so we were at a music concert. Hey, do you love music concerts? And do you love like sitting on someone's shoulders at a music concert? Yeah, cool. So do you think I could pick you up? Huh? He asked stuff like that. It's a weird turnoff, and it's just like it's very gross. But I was like, you know. I kind of skipped to the end by just like reading spoilers. I was like, oh, blah, blah, I got it.
Yeah.
And, you know, different people are hooking up. But like the two Asian, the East Asian girl and the South Asian girl, 750,000 followers on Instagram each.
Yeah. There
is a Vietnamese guy on there, 2,000 followers. This dude, man, and let me tell you, man, he was like in the army. He has like a PhD. He like teaches. I forgot where he teaches. I think he lives in New York City. I'm gonna get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
And like I remember, I was like telling this to Gina. I was like, yeah, dude, this Vietnamese guy, and they like give him. I mean, I only watched one episode.
Did he get kicked out or something? Or did you get kicked out in that? I don't even know how that works.
No, you don't get kicked out.
So he's on television on one of the most popular shows, and you and I have more followers than.
And he didn't really get a lot of like screen time. I don't know. I think because he was like not a weirdo. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I was just like watching this, and then Gina was like, she was like, I was telling him about this guy. He's like a PhD and you know whatever. He was in the army. She's like, oh, he's like what you wish you were. And I was like, damn, it's true. You know. And
is he hot?
He's cute.
Yeah, I guess the whole point of that is that they can't see you.
Yeah, they can't. But I mean, I don't know. Like I think. You can. I feel that like all the guys on there are like essentially in the same ballpark of hotness. You know what I'm saying? You can tell all of them like, you know, do a lot of bicep curls, and you know they all have like jobs like sales, inside sales manager. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. You know, like they're if you saw them at a bar, you'd be like, yeah, he's doing his thing.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah.
He only has 2,000 followers. He's on the most popular show in America.
This just goes to show that if you, Fumi, or if we ever get onto an opportunity, get onto, you know, a popular Netflix streaming thing, just start saying problematic shit. Just start out there and just like, you know, like, hey, you know, what do we think about Cosby? Just say it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will just be in obscurity despite your PhD and military service.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. My God, he served for the fucking country. What's his name? Give him a shout on this podcast. What's his name?
I don't know. I actually don't know his name. So that's the thing. But anyways,
God.
okay. So
auditions. Okay. Yeah, auditions.
Okay, so we're
So you wanted to walk us through like who you're considering?
Well, I think you know the strength of the podcast has always been, it's got to be. It can't just be like content. It does have to be vibes. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. Yeah. And the most fun I have on here, and I think honestly the best like performing episodes, whatever you wanted to call it, are episodes where it's like our homies and we're just like shooting the shit and 100%. We like get into it. And sometimes it gets like real specific Asian stuff, and sometimes it's just like whatever stupid shit happened to us on the bus.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to try to do.
Yeah.
So I think like the format is like it's me and this co-host, and essentially it's the same thing. It'll be just a little tighter because, and again I mentioned this on the last episode. To me, the worst part of any interview is always like, so where did you grow up?
I know.
What was it like? I'm like, you know, you have to ask those questions sometimes just to kind of get things going.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
But I also like, I mean, I'm curious to see like what kind of guests are you going to have? Because I feel like, you know, again, if I could do it again, I probably wouldn't do guests unless they were homies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I mean, of course I'm so fortunate to have met some of these people, but like, the pressure of always having a guest, I don't need that anymore.
I know what you mean.
And I hope that, you know, I hope that you take some of that with you to this season too. Like, I hope that you don't just book someone for the downloads. I mean, to be honest, it didn't even affect our downloads anymore. You know what I mean?
It's really interesting how much
it's actually kind of nice now to see like,
just like it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing I was gonna ask, and I don't think I would do this, but I was like, oh, I could just do the podcast alone. Right, just by myself.
I would listen to it. That'd be fucking funny.
What the fuck would I do?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be laughing at you.
I would be that Vietnamese guy with no followers, dude.
Yeah.
It would be so. I'm not like fucking Bill Burr, where I'm just like.
Can you try doing like some Sarah Silverman as a podcast alone?
Was she just talk?
But she answers questions from her fans. But they ask like crazy things.
Oh.
And she just has you could do something like that.
You know what I've thought about because I I'm going to be dad, and I had this thought. I was like, what if like young people just ask me questions and I will try to ask an adult that will give you a real answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's what I think.
It's got to be like a phone voicemail to make it real. That's what Sarah Silverman, it can't just be like, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those do well on her channel. But it's also like really, she gets like crazy questions. Not like problematic questions, like real questions.
Right. But is it like real questions like, I got a gerbil up my ass? Or is it like...
No. It's like just life shit.
Oh, shit.
Real life shit. You know? Yeah, it's really good. She always has great answers. And her podcast is always 45 minutes.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. See? That's what I want. 45 minutes.
I think you could do it alone if you wanted to. I mean, like, it might be like a little bit more work, but not too much. If you could figure out the format. That's the other thing is like, I feel sometimes we were like, when we have Eshton and Woody on, it's like, I don't even need this fucking outline.
Right.
We're just fucking... And it's great. It's so fun.
Left and right.
And I wish it could just be like that every episode. I wish I knew... I wish I could have figured out how to bring that energy into every guest.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're interviewing people that we have never met before. I know Bobby Lee does that sometimes, but he's very good at like...
He's very good at that sort of thing.
But he also doesn't have like serious guests, you know what I mean? Like, he has like... One time he had on like... not Dr. Phil, but like one of those TV personalities.
Yeah.
But again, not a super serious guest.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we get like pretty serious guests.
Yeah.
And they get thrown off when we ask them how they pee and stuff.
I remember you asking. Did you ask Vietnam to win that? I think you did.
Asked him that.
Oh, I think I did. Are you an over guy or through?
Yeah.
That was tight. That's what I like.
That's our vibe. But, but it's like we have to make sure, book people who hear that and they go, oh, I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of go with it rather than like, I think he said, I'm not going to answer that.
Yes, I think he was going to answer. I have a Pulitzer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. And so I feel like, it will be like kind of a, it has to be like
format-wise, is it different? Or are you going to keep doing Patreon and shit?
Yeah.
I think shout-outs and all that stuff?
I'm going to do that. But I basically kind of want to try to minimize the interview and do a thing where it's like, I like the what kind of Asian were you?
Yeah.
That's always a fun story. And then I would do a news thing, a race news thing, but it doesn't have to be about Asian things. Like the sort of test episode that Jenny and I did.
Yeah.
We had talked about this article where it was on like the New Yorker or some pretentious place like that, where it was like a vibe check is coming. A vibe shift is coming.
Okay.
Hilarious. Exactly. And I was like, I saw this article and I was like, this is perfect because Jenny will know what I'm talking about and Fumi will not have any idea what I'm talking about. This is like something I could be excited to talk about.
Yeah.
So, and it was fun. I think it was fun. And so we do like a little thing like that and then we play Asian, not Asian.
So do you want to introduce who Jenny is to the fans?
Yeah. I mean, for right now, the co-host is Jenny Aramoto. She she's like a comedian, writer.
Younger?
Yeah, she's younger.
Like my age or younger than me?
Younger than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's not a bad thing, but I've never met her. And
you never met her?
So interesting that I'm being replaced by somebody I've never fucking met before.
Yeah. I replaced you with another Japanese person.
Yeah, I was shocked it wasn't like not that these people would agree, but like I just thought it would be like somebody who's been on the podcast a lot or something. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Was like, are you guys tight or something? Like what was the reason?
Well, I think the energy. I'm getting the same energy from her as I get from you. Somebody who's just like interested in doing stuff. Yeah. Like when we recorded, I remember we recorded, and then I was like, "Oh, you want to like, you stick around and try to like, we want to do another episode?" And she's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the park and film this sketch." And I was like, "Yo, go to the park and film a sketch." We haven't had to fucking do that in so long. Like,
yeah.
I feel like we're so bougie now. It's like, go to the park. Why don't we rent a space?
Well, sketches have changed. When we first started, you're like, it's gonna. Remember we used to film. I mean, I remember I did that thing for Brian. About the art
we had
I
shots.
went to Kinko's and printed out those things like $100. Like now it's like all TikTok with an effect.
Yeah, it takes like 2
nobody
seconds.
does. Nobody does like the full on sketches anymore. But
yeah. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So she's like a comedian, writer, like former Google person, which I like too. And I think she's different from me. I did think about like, I mean, one thing I always feel was, I don't know, a weakness of ours is that we're just two dudes. We're two
100%. 100%.
Even though we're very different from each other.
Yeah.
there's a lot of times when we're very similar, you know, and that. We're like fucking Black Eyed Peas, you know?
Yeah.
We need to find a Fergie.
We got a Fergie.
We need a Fergie, man. You know, because that, like, it gives you a counterbalance.
Yeah.
And I still personally think that you look at all the podcasts out there that have like ensembles, right? It's not always just like not everyone is playing the same role.
Yeah.
If some people have to sit and kind of, you know, play the drums sometimes, and some people get to play lead guitar.
Yeah.
You know, and it switches and stuff like that. And I think that was really important. I wanted to find someone who is different. I do sometimes think like, so step 1, Fumi leaves. Step 2, Jenny comes on. Step 3, I leave. Step 4, another
podcast blows up.
Yeah, it's split.
They get another girl and then it blows up.
So we're recording our first guest one is we're gonna record on Sunday, but it might not come out for a long time. We're gonna have her name is Emma Choi.
Yeah,
and it's really crazy. It's really interesting. She was an NPR intern. She did so well they gave her a show.
That's insane.
And she's still in college at Harvard. You know, so like it's like pretty crazy. So like I don't know how else it could get any better for her, but she seems cool. You know, she's like a legit Gen Z person.
Yeah.
So like I think that would be cool to like have this person on and again like counterpoint, but I have a suspicion too, if I'm not careful, she would just usurp me and all of the
she's just on the podcast.
And it's just her and Jenny, which I think would be an amazing podcast. Already, I'm just like, fuck, that makes a lot of
but
sense.
This is that quote from Gina, bro. People come to see you.
I know.
That's the thing you cannot forget. I think as you do season 2, I'm sure Jenny is great. People listening right now, they don't fucking know her, dude.
Yeah.
They don't know her, man. And I'm sure she's great. But they click download for me and you, at least for the first 3-4 months of you doing this podcast until you guys bring in new fans, which you fucking will.
Yeah, I think, I think for her, I mean, you know, we'll just sort of have like it's like a job interview. It's like, hope, you know, it really is up to her too. You know, obviously, right? Like, I want to make sure she's...
How did you pitch this to her, by the way? Were you just like was just like, you want to do this? She's like, yeah. Or like, did you have to like explain to her like the details and the responsibilities and like time commitment? And all?
I originally was like, you know, listen, Fumi's going. I wanted to know if you wanted to be a co-host and we could just try it out for a little bit. I was very like, try to minimize again like the amount of stuff she has to do for now, because like here's the thing is that if I bring someone on, then do we need to bring her on to like the partnership?
No, I would keep it just you, and then if there's money involved, just pay her, and then it's just for simplicity.
It's such a crazy thing that like that's another thing, because like then I was like, oh, if she works out, and by the way, if she doesn't, it'd probably be my fault. But if it doesn't work out, then it's like, or if she does work out, then I'm like a lawyer. I'm like, welcome to the partnership. I made you partner of this fucking podcast.
You pop a champagne.
Yeah.
Sign this. You're part of the LLC. Abe Nguyen and Arimoto.
You know, exactly. My friend is a fucking attorney, and she made partner. I remember when she made partner, this is what she's dreamed of. Yeah. And it's a big deal because you're like a millionaire or whatever.
So funny.
But I'm just like, welcome to the partnership. I guess it's kind of the same thing for a comedian. You made partner of this like weird.
By the way, the only reason why I'm trying to leave the LLC is because I don't want to do fucking taxes anymore.
So it's so fucking stressful.
But it sounds like I have to still do it.
You do have to do it for a little bit, I think.
For this year, because I'm already...
you're on it for a little bit.
We got to discuss about that. So we'll figure... Maybe I'll just stay on as an accountant, you know? I would be cool with that. I stay on as an accountant. Just pay me as an accountant, bro. Let me know how much money I can spend on Seamless a month.
I mean, here's the thing. We have a lot of like things like, I mean... hey, we're not like making like lots of money, but it's like a significant number that you and I have to figure it out. And then we have like, we have to figure out Hack City because like that's a whole thing. But it's cool because you've built something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If somebody tried to buy us out, it would really, the package would have to be like you and me, and that's the deal.
Yeah.
And we built something of value. And we were talking during the break, why I want to do this, and it's because I feel there's value. We've built something of value.
Yeah.
I also remember I sometimes listen to old episodes of you and I just to give myself a pep talk.
They were good, man.
You're so nice to me sometimes. A lot of times you're a dick, but sometimes you're really nice to me. And when you are, it's really nice because y'all need to get somebody in your life who's not even your best friend or your significant other, but somebody who occasionally be like, you just fucking gotta believe in yourself, dude. Just fucking do it.
Well, I will say this. I think it's very obvious, but like, I think we work because like, in comedy, I only work with people who like I fall in love with the way their brain works. Right?
Yeah.
So like, I love you. I love the way your brain works. I love the way Jordan's brain works.
Oh yeah.
You know, like there's just certain people. I'm like, I don't think like that at all.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just want that around me. Because maybe they feel the same way about me. Maybe we're just thinking about different things.
I see.
And then sometimes that's good. Because I just need to be surrounded. Because I don't want to be surrounded by people who think like me.
Right.
Because I already think like me. So just give me a different point of view on something, and that'll spark something in me. And I think that's like so hard to find in comedy sometimes.
It's very hard to find.
Because a lot of people who are talking about the same fucking thing.
Yeah, the same angles and same things or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, creativity in and of itself is about finding someone who's really different from you. But then also having the environment where you're okay saying something and not being afraid where like someone's gonna shit on you for that idea.
And I think like, well, we've been like working together for so long that like, you know, we like, I'll pitch stuff to you all the time, you know, and that's fine. But like that's like something you have to kind of like earn and build, I think. But I agree with you. Yeah, I think it's somebody who's different than you creatively, but like socially you can vibe with. Yeah, that is hard.
That's really
that
hard
is very hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like you said it to an episode on an episode once where it was you and I, and it may have even been like a bonus one where it was like, you know, you could see me being
the bar.
Yeah, at a bar.
I think about that all the time.
Really?
I think
That's
about that all the time.
so funny.
I just don't want that for you.
I don't want that for me either.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, Fumi once said that like I have a 50-50 chance of like either just becoming like like an alcoholic. I don't know.
No,
Like a bar, like a guy at a bar who's like the wise guy at a bar.
The wise guy at the bar who's gonna like, there's gonna be like a young couple chatting next to you about some topic, and you're gonna be like, oh, actually, and you're right, but they're like, whatever, weirdo. You can be that, or you could be like a successful creative person.
Well, yeah, and
with the same knowledge,
right?
If that makes sense. That bar guy is not any less dumb than you,
right?
You know, it's just an alternate reality version of you.
And I think it's you know, what I would love is like if the podcast keeps going and like we use the money is used to like do other things. Like I've always wanted to have, you know, why isn't there an Asian American sketch show? You know what I'm saying? I would love to have that. Why isn't there, you know, I would like hire fucking a writer to fucking do whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like the talent is here. Yeah. The scene is here. The content is here. Like, why hasn't these things happened? You know? Yeah. Like I straight up was talking to Brian Park over at Feeling Asian, and I was like, I had this idea. I was like, if an investor could give me $500,000, I could build an empire. Yeah. And I was like, how do I do that? And I legit had a conversation with there's this guy. He's like an open micer, but he like runs this website, helps run this website, and you know, he's like a business guy. He has like an MBA and shit. And I was like talking to him about it, and like, how do you like pitch stuff? And you know, he wasn't that helpful, but it's fine. He gave me other advice, which was really good. But I was like, that's what I think needs to happen. Is like, you know, we have all the stuff. You know, I just wish I had a little bit more resources, because then we could leverage that into all these things. I don't know, maybe it's a Patreon thing, but you know, I would love for there to be more than one, like a podcast comedy network where there's like 3 or 4 different things, and you know, and 2 of them are like, you know, one's about like a Gen Z Asian problems only, and one's about being an Asian dad, and one of them is about a career shit, and they're all like together, and there's also the sketch show, and there's a live show, and then there's a fucking festival, and like, you know, there's all those different things happening. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, I could become a comedy baron. Where I just like taking over everything, which, you know, I don't know. I think it could be cool.
I think that's cool, man. I mean, you got that vision. Now you just have to stop going to the bar. You end up as the bar guy.
I know. This fucking White Claw too. I think so that's sort of what it is. You know, we'll see how it goes, but right now I feel like
I mean, so are you not gonna just do an episode with her a bunch of times? Or are you gonna have a guest every time? Is that how this works?
I think
is the formula so that you can just do it with 2 people if you had to?
I think so. Yeah. Because I would like it to be like a really tight show. We still would do it I would like do like a bunch of episodes in one day. Yeah. And then like excuse me, just release them over time or whatever. That way, because it's such a fucking grind to be here every Saturday.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there was a stretch. I swear to fucking God, we should have kept track. But like, there was a stretch where we didn't miss a Saturday for like 40 weeks or some shit like that. It was some crazy shit.
We've if anything, we've taken more breaks recently because I think we're just like, yeah, we kind of need it. It'd be nice. But like for a while, we like never stopped.
Every Saturday. Yeah. And I fucking people always ask me like, "Oh, do you have a day job?" Yes, and I have a very intense day job too, and it is insane. And I'm about to have a child, and I guess the thing is, I don't feel like I feel really busy, but I'm not like overwhelmed. The other day, I was telling everybody I had the fucking main line of the house backed up.
Yeah,
and like it came into like
the sewage.
The fucking sewage came into my house, and I was just like, all right, it's just like, okay, it's fine. That's like another thing I got to do. Yeah, it's fine. And I think that's what I want to go in with, that attitude for everything. Like if some shit happens, some shit breaks, I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah,
because this is how it is. And again, change is good. So bring the poopy water.
Bring the poopy water.
Bring that poopy water, baby.
Yeah.
I started with Athletic Greens because the pandemic really fucked me up, and I wanted to get that energy back that I had before. With one scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and more to start your day. I take it after my morning workout while I'm chilling, starting my day, and let me tell you, AG1 supports mental clarity and alertness. It's a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every day to take care of yourself. It costs less than $3 a day. It's an investment in your health that's cheaper than your cold brew addiction. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-boosting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/AsianNotAsian. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/AsianNotAsian to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. There's a lot of new Asian comics and just young comics coming up.
Yeah.
I did this Asian prom thing last week. I only knew like a third of the people.
Yeah. What is Asian prom for the people who don't know?
Asian prom, for people who don't know, the original joke was, I think it was Jenny Yang, who would come to New York City. And when she did, she would just like text everyone she knew, all the people in the Asian comedy scene, which was like not really called that, but she would just text everybody like, hey, I'm going to be at this restaurant after the show. Let's hang out. And it would be called Asian prom. And we just, it would just be a chance for all the Asian comedians to hang out with each other. And over time, like we decided to like have this bit, I guess, where we were like, what if we actually made Asian prom?
Yeah.
So we like rented a space, like a bar, like that has a big back area in Brooklyn, and we just invited everyone we knew. It was me, Jenny, the co-host, and Dylan Adler, who's great.
Yeah.
And the way it works, the sort of triumvirate was Jenny was, the ops person. She made everything happen. She's great. Dylan knew everyone. And I made executive decisions. That's really what I didn't do anything. In other words, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it was like cool to do, and like so we had this huge thing, over 100 people for sure. And so that was like a lot of fun. But like I knew again maybe a third of the people. So I was like, who are all these new people who are coming up, doing stuff? There's 2 Asian comedy festivals. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah. There's 2, which is interesting. I'm like, oh, there's 2, and they're like, so the scene is growing, things are happening, and it's funny because sometimes I do think sometimes things have changed a lot and they've not changed at all, because there are still kind of like Asian shows. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Those will always be around though.
Those will always be around.
I mean, there's obviously like black shows, but there's like the ones in like Harlem where they're gonna like talk about certain things, and then there's ones in like at Friends and Lovers where they're gonna be trying like Lucas Brothers are gonna be there, what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's good.
That is a good thing.
I like different. I want there to be shitty and good Asian comedians. That's part of the game.
I want it.
Let them be shitty.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, because everything. You're right. That's another big theme of what we've done for over the years, is like, let's just make more shit.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be one thing. If you don't
because
like it,
there are a lot of people who like that. There's a lot of Asian people who enjoy that.
Absolutely,
let them have it. That's
you can have that
totally
shit.
fine. Yeah,
welcome to the the Wonton Show, dude.
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the
yeah,
Wonton Show, dude. That's tight, dude. Sometimes those shows can be great, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, because you're right. Like, you'll have a show like that, and then you'll have, like, Feeling Asian Live, which is at the fucking Bell House, and 400 of the coolest people you've ever met.
Dude, you know what's crazy? And this was, like, so nice that it happened. When I was asked to do that show, I was so afraid that I was going to be jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Their draw.
Ooh, I love talking about jealousy.
And when I got there, I think this is also why I knew I had to leave the podcast. When I got there, obviously it was fucking cool that they were all there.
Yeah.
But I looked at the show and I looked at the audience and I was like, this is amazing for them, but like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do like a game show for that's just not something I would do. And there was no jealousy. And I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
It's so nice to be able to just be happy
for
your
own thing.
And I didn't, because I feel like Hack's is just like such a different animal.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just,
not even comparable at all.
It's just like a different product, you know? And even if it was on a bigger scale, and even if it did more time, I don't know that I would ever want to like hula hoop or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's just like not
playing the games that they play.
People, and like, again,
it was great.
People love that shit, you know? I remember one time you said to me, you know, when you did Asian American 3000, you're like, I don't think some people want to see stand-up.
Yeah.
I think our audience is afraid of stand-up. And I totally agree with you. And I guess, like, I'm also trying to be better at this. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and more stubborn. But I guess now I'm just like, okay, well then don't come to my show.
Yeah.
This is what I got.
This is what I do.
But this is like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to dance for you, dude.
Yeah.
I can't dance for you. But I will, like, talk to you about how I guess gay people in West Hollywood steal phones or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, like whatever new bit I'm working on, I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And you can get to know me through that. If you want me to do 30 minutes, I'll do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's just what I like, and I can't like bend over backwards to do other things anymore because it's not true to me. And again, I want to attract the right kind of crowd. And I know I can do it. I know I can fucking do it. I know that if I made a video about top 5 chopsticks or whatever, I could get 5,000 views. If I post some crowd work, it gets like 10, 20,000 views. That's enough for me. Cool. You follow me on Instagram, come see me live. You know, like that's fine for me, you know? And as long as it's like hitting those numbers, I feel like it's worthwhile. So that's something, I don't know, it was just like an internal thing I was experiencing as I was doing that live show. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
This is great. I'm glad that
I was like, this has nothing to do with me. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to do a 2-parter thing where here's what I would love in a couple years for myself. Yeah. And then I also want to ask you, I guess, like what you would do if it was the other way around and you were staying and I was leaving. Yeah. So just for me, right, and to kind of add on to what you're saying, what I want is Hack City is fucking crazy. Yeah. We can't even do it in New York City anymore because it's too fucking big or some shit like that, right? It's at the Bell House every fucking month or whatever. And it's fucking crazy times. I love that. And I would love... which I think is very doable.
I don't think it's I think we could do it. I don't know if we'll get like 400 or 500. I think we could sell like 3. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Our shit always sells out at 100 like
100
like a week before. Yeah. If we just pushed it, I don't see why we can't go a little over 200.
I would love that. And then I would love to do, because I love podcasting actually.
Yeah.
I realize,
me too.
I really like talking.
I do like this format for sure. So and I want to come back to it at some point.
Yes,
in my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would love to have a live show where it is essentially just this. You know what I'm saying? Like you and I, or whoever, you know, where there's a guest, and we just chat, and you know
who does that?
Who?
You know that podcast called Smartless? Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Will Arnett.
And
that guy from Will and Grace. Yeah. And of course they are famous celebrities, so that is the thing. They tour, they sit down on a table, and they just fucking do this. And they take questions from the fans.
That's what I want to do.
That's all they do.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And can I just say, just to make it Asian again, it would be, as an Asian thing, revolutionary. Because Asian people don't do shit like this.
No.
They always have, it's always like issues driven, right? So it's going to be like, we're going to have a talk about how to change your career, or we're going to have a talk about like voting is a block, or we're going to talk about how to invest in cryptocurrency. Yeah. Whatever the fuck it is. Fine. Those are cool. I would love a podcast where it's me and Jenny and you're there and we fucking talk about getting those toilet paper things stuck in our butt. Whatever the fuck it is. Just like regular shit. Yeah. I would love that. And I think we know people like it because we do it all the fucking time and people listen to our shit. That's what I want. And it will happen. It's going to happen.
I think so. I think it can happen. I think the key is, it might take a little longer, but you just always ask yourself, do I want to do this?
Yeah.
And this is not something that I did with this podcast, which like I'm very much responsible for, but like whatever mediums you're representing yourselves on, like Instagram, whatever it is, just like make sure like everything you put out there is something you're cool with your name being on. And like make sure you're attracting the right fans, because I don't even know if Michael Luo listens to this podcast anymore, but like if there were 500 Michael Luos, we could just do this, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's a great point.
That's the goal, right?
That's such a great point, man.
Hey, Michael, I don't even know. I haven't seen him in a minute.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I have no idea where you're at, but he's still giving us. I have no idea.
Okay. I'll check.
He used to be the CEO. I don't know what the fuck he is anymore. But right, that's what you're trying to, and that's why like the Will and Nets, they can do that. Because they love them, so they can just talk.
But whatever.
And there's no guest, and it's
nothing.
so easy. I think okay, if I did a game, it would be like if you and I did like an Asian American 3000 or live show again. Sure. Like, and if I had to do a game, I would do like an improvised business TED Talk.
I see.
Right, where it's like it's a business presentation, but you don't know what's on it, and we're like fucking around. I would do that kind of shit.
That's funny.
But I don't. I don't want to like dance and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think again, like staying true to things you find authentically funny, that is so hard to do because it's so tempting to put a picture of a tempura up there. I know it's hard to put it on there. You're like, I love shrimp tempura. 5,000 likes. I know that it's so tempting, but like. Again, you're looking for that. You're looking for the Michael Luos because you don't need a lot of Michael Luos.
No.
If you have 3,000 Michael Luos, you can live a whole year. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You think you need
like huge reach. You don't.
Somebody had a quote. 10,000 fans.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like a daunting number, but it's really not.
Right.
You don't need 500 million
true
followers.
Fans too.
10,000 true fans is all you need to make a living.
Yeah.
Just think about that and just work towards that. And fucking, to be honest, we're not that far from it,
Yeah.
So
we need 10,000 Michael Luos. So I want to know if it was the other way around, what would you do?
If you were leaving?
Yeah.
I would take a little hiatus.
For sure.
Kind of
reset.
Yeah. You mean like if I wasn't working at Corden and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
I would change the podcast. I would.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call it Asian.
Sure.
Maybe I would do the personal financing. I don't know. I would figure something else out to do with this specific RSS feed with access to these fans.
Yeah.
I would keep it going for sure.
Yeah.
I also wanted you to keep it going because I do think that for the people who are like in that phase I was referring to.
In the awareness phase.
They really need us.
They do need. They need
like this. They need this conversation.
Yeah, they do.
And there's so much value. And I hope that's clear. I'm not leaving because I don't think this is valuable. I'm leaving because I'm not giving. I can't give it 100% anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think it's like such a viable thing we built, and it's not something that we should be leaving behind. So if it was the other way around, I would change it, but I wouldn't leave it.
I got. We kind of dropped a little bit hints of this in the in the Patreon. You should check it out, patreon.com/Asian, not Asian pod. And we got some like really nice comments.
Yeah.
There was like somebody who was like, take this with a grain of salt, but you guys have like made history, and like if there's a documentary about immigrant comedy, you guys will be in it because you've done all these things, and now you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And if and people, on the Patreon are saying like, if you do something else, we'll just follow you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do think that. I think people who donate to the Patreon is like, we fuck with these guys hardcore.
Yeah.
And, I think, somebody made a good point. This is why we never stopped, because we were always like on that fucking grind culture.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying, like, people take breaks all the time, and you don't
right.
stop being a fan of them.
Yeah.
When Taylor Swift doesn't put out another album every year, it's not like I'm not a fan.
That was the other thing that I was gonna suggest is like, if you wanted to, you could just record like, let's just say 25 episodes You'd be like, this is season 2.
Yeah.
And then you take the 25 weeks off, you do some research, you come up with a plan for season 3,
yeah,
and you record another 20 episodes, and that is season 3. And like, I don't know how that would affect like followership.
Sure.
But like, my favorite podcasts are seasonal.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta be.
I understand the talk show vibe is different because we're fucking around, and for advertising money, of course, that's more because you're releasing more episodes. Sure. But like, I don't know if like Serial was like, I'm doing a live show. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go to that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would do. Like, hey, this guy's in jail. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna zoom him. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I would go.
Look who we got. It's Anon.
It's Anon. He must be like 45 now. Yeah. Jesus Christ,
dude. If they had a live show and Anon was there, I would pay so much money.
I know.
I would be like, yes, $1,000. I want to know what it looks like.
And
now.
that's the other thing is like you can put more thought behind it. You can put more because I think we did that for a while where like it was a little easier because we were new, but like each episode had like okay, this is about hair, this is about acting, this is about whatever. Like if each one had a really strong theme, each episode would be a fucking banger. And that's another favorite podcast of mine is Still Processing on New York Times.
Oh yeah,
seasonal.
That's
seasonal. And if they had a live show, I'd fucking go. I'd fucking go.
So fucking good.
So I don't necessarily think that's out of the cards for you either. If you wanted to like, take a break, whatever, man. Release an old episode. We have like 200.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We have 20. That's how many days you can take off.
So there will be a break. We're gonna bring back some of the episodes that like we individually like. Yeah. And I mean, like I think, I think that's how I know that I want to keep doing this because I'm already thinking ahead to the thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking forward to the break just because it'd be nice to like on a Saturday to fuck around.
Yeah.
Hang out with
your new baby.
My new baby.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to like do other things, like to keep going and like I've already like booked another, guest and it's I want to, I'm still in the fight, and I think that's a good sign. Because I know what burnout was. I mean, honestly, I think
for sure. I think I'm excited to see sort of this era or this thing that I couldn't figure it out, but I think you can, and I think I'm excited to see what that is.
This is so fucking One Piece, like giving me One Piece vibes.
I couldn't figure it out. I really couldn't. That was like a frustrating thing. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
but I think you can figure it out.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Anyways, tune in for next week for part 3.
To
hear more about Mike's baby.
Aye.
And more. Okay, we love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.